Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tape Talks Live. I am Roger Wakefield, and I want to welcome you back if you've been here before. We're glad that you show up here. If this is your first time new, this is something that we do every day at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. We talk to all the trades, not just plumbers, not just electricians, not just HVAC techs. Sometimes we talk to pipe fitters.
Occasionally.
We try not to.
20-year pipe fitter here. I try to talk to you guys when you're out there. I love it. Makes me happy. Morning, everybody. I'm Henry Wakefield, a.k.a. Squirt, as you see down there on your screen. Yes, I had reset, meant to play. Sure did.
We did good.
But, man, I hope everybody is doing wonderful this wonderful Taco Tuesday. I think we may do some tacos this evening.
What?
Yeah.
You're on
Me and the
carnivore.
kiddo.
You just mean a bowl of taco meat.
You know, yeah, like...
That's tacos.
Pretty much. You know,
Throw a
that's
little cheese
tacos
in it?
nowadays.
Can you do
So
cheese?
I can do some cheese.
Meat, cheese, and egg.
Meat,
That's pretty much
cheese,
it.
egg, bacon. Yeah.
Well, baby,
I know.
bacon
it's
is meat.
But bacon's its own meat, okay?
Boy, and that's the truth.
We do want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and be able to talk all these different aspects of trades with you an hour each and every day, Monday through Fridays, hopefully during your lunch hour. Leak Pro does manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. Guys, if you're a plumber, it's easy to use. It's the equipment, one wire to your headphones. There's a volume knob control. That's the only adjustment on the whole thing. To check out our equipment, you can visit www.leak-pro.com and check out the complete kit, because that comes with both pieces of equipment, the probe for your outdoor use, and then that sidekick for your indoor when you're listening through slabs. But also, I do a 2-day in-person training. Give me a call. Let's talk about that at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and I'll get you trained up on how to do leak detection.
You know, and here's the deal. People ask me all the time about social media. Like how did you get to where you're at? And it started with YouTube. I remember where Randy was working at equipment. He's like, dude, what is your dad doing on YouTube? He's like, he's just being dad. That's what he is. But the funny thing is I've learned to do it in a way that I think most tradespeople need to learn how to do. So we have put together a course, Kickstart Your YouTube. And I've got to tell you, it started out as an 8-week program. Then we added another week to it, how to make money on YouTube. And you'll be able to take that, not just on YouTube, but you'll be able to use that on other social platforms. But we put together a free webinar because we've had people say, look, here's why I can't do it. And I'm like, seriously, you're going to let that stop you? So we literally put together this course, and I made the webinar just to show you, you can do YouTube.
You can.
You can.
Anybody
if
can.
I can do it, I don't mean that bad.
That's it.
I know I'm not completely ignorant, but guys, it's a tool. And if you learn how to use a new tool in a new way, you can do new things. So if you want to learn more about it, just go to www.justmattroger.com. I think that my team will be pinning it over to the top here in a moment on both sides. I don't know how this comment got stuck up.
Oh,
no,
I'm
not
here,
the pipe
baby.
fitters.
that's right.
Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Squirt. What's up, brothers? Happy Taco and Tequila Tuesday.
Ooh.
My man.
Okay.
May have to go back to Vegas.
I like this.
Uh-huh. Tell me about that Leak Pro. Phoenix hasn't got hot yet, so I'm enjoying working on the evap coolers. There you go. Not a bad deal. And Squirt says, Happy Taco Tuesday to everyone.
That's right.
Not the pipe fitters. Smoked maple bacon bourbon coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee, and I normally don't like maple bacon. I like the jalapeno or the pepper bacon, but that doesn't sound too bad. And there we go. The Trade Talks Live. Just met Roger. Man, come and see us and check us out. So let's jump into the national news, because Georgia's spending some money, baby.
They are. They launched $1.5 billion bond sale to fund transportation and infrastructure projects. And guys, this just shows me that, guess what, states coming up with some new creative ways to be able to fund these projects.
That are creative ways to spend that money.
Yeah,
Say,
well,
hey,
and all of the above,
it's
you know,
needed.
because it's
needed.
it's going to be good. That's it. Like it is majorly needed across the country, more or less. Georgia's not the only one that needs some upgrades on that infrastructure, like we talk about all the time. Big overview here. Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp announced a $1.5 billion
$1 billion
bond issuance dedicated to upgrading roads, bridges, and public transit systems.
Well, what's that got to do with trades other than concrete people?
Concrete people, structural. You're going to have a little bit of combination of multiple things there. You look at how they build bridges nowadays. It ain't just concrete no more.
Well, and that's the truth. Yeah. We've got an area here in Dallas called the High Five.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to take them like 6 years to build it or something. And they got it done in like 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, man.
That's it. But these projects are going to focus on major metro areas like Atlanta and Augusta.
Okay. Now, why is Augusta important?
Why?
The Masters, the golf, the biggest golf tournament.
Yeah, okay.
I want to go there one day.
Yeah.
I just saw that, and that's what I thought.
You know, I've watched more golf at Papaw's than anywhere in my life, I think.
Of course.
And also some undeserved rural communities, guys.
Underserved.
Yes, underserved.
Not undeserved.
Oh, my bad.
Randy says, hey, y'all don't need this money, but you're going to get it anyway.
Emphasis on reducing traffic congestion and upgrading stormwater systems.
Oh, what? Oh, stormwater systems.
Yeah. So see, that's going to get you a little bit of work out there if you're a civil guy.
Little utility contractor.
Along with transportation networks. And guys, this is really big because the massive demand ahead for road crews, utility contractors, drainage pros, and site prep trades are all going to be booming in the area. And
this is going to happen all across the United States.
I was gonna say.
I mean, Georgia's doing it. Texas is doing it. We talked the other day about me driving to Austin, 1974. 35 South was under construction. It's been under construction every time I've driven to Austin since then.
Yep.
Since 1974. 50 years. Guys, this is going to go on forever.
yeah.
Keep spending that money.
And then I'd expect projects to release bid packages in phases, probably starting late summer.
That's not bad.
No.
So the good thing is, if you're not looking at Georgia right now, you might be missing one of the best bidding windows of the year. Because, guys, a lot of people, they don't pay attention to stuff like this. I hate it. They literally wait for somebody to come knock on their door and say, hey, do you want a job? And it's like, well, yeah. It's like, oh, well, get ahead of it. Here's the deal. If you get ahead of bids like this and you get to get in good with the right GCs, you become the one they're talking to.
That's it.
They may not go knocking on somebody else's door. Then when they say, dude, you got that job, why didn't you call us? It's like, well, Squirt jumped in, man, gave us a great bid, and, man, we went with it. All right. We're talking websites now.
We are.
ConstructionDive.com. And what's good about it is it offers real-time news on infrastructure, commercial building, skilled labor updates. Do y'all hear that? And project launches. It breaks down complex policy changes into bite-sized, actionable pieces for contractors and trades pros. What you got there, man?
Look here. NFL's Commanders, Inc.
Isn't that the Redskins?
$1 billion
Or can we not say that
stadium
anymore?
deal.
Okay, never mind. I just got in trouble. HR.
They were
just went
known
off.
as the Redskins previously.
Formerly
yes.
known, the team formerly known as the Redskins.
Formerly known as.
That's what we'll
Yeah,
call them from now.
that's-
The team formerly known as the Redskins.
Love that.
Absolutely. Pull a little Prince out on you right there.
But like here, guys, some of the top stories. How contractors can mitigate the risk of joint ventures. IBM pledges $150 billion towards U.S.-based manufacturing research. $2.4 billion Inglewood People Mover, mothballed. I thought that was pretty
Inglewood
wild.
People Mover.
Yes, it's a company, a manufacturer there. It was some project. I'm trying to remember how they were going to move people, but for the Olympics over in LA, I believe is what this is about. They're going to reshift
My
everything.
HR alarm just went off, says I'm in trouble.
And they're going to try to,
Sorry. I messed you up, didn't I?
yeah, they're going to try to shift towards being able to bus people in and out for the LA Olympics, I believe is what it
Okay,
is.
wait. Okay, stop.
What is it?
The NFL Commanders?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. No.
I was fixing to say,
I'm talking
they're
about
not
the
going to
Inglewood
ship them from
People-
Washington,
People
D.C. to
Mover.
L.A.
No, I'm talking about the
People Mover ain't going that far either.
All right. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
It's going to be one of those days.
Here we go.
We
guys.
got, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Randy's going to show you the map of the People
Boom.
Mover.
2.5. City Council approved new phase transit connector project that will instead emphasize new bus lanes ahead of the 2028 Olympics in LA.
You really do get in here and read this
Looky
stuff.
here.
You study this.
This is the one that I'm actually signed up to the newsletter, guys, and I actually did read that one this morning.
Here's
So-
the deal. If you sign up for Construction Dive's free weekly newsletter like Squirt does, it gives a free great snapshot of national construction trends in 5 minutes or less.
Boom.
That's how much time he spends putting this whole thing together. 5 minutes or less. I'm just telling you.
I spend 5 minutes or less going down rabbit holes within this segment. But yeah, guys, this is a really good one. I like the newsletters that come out. It just kind of keeps me a little in the know about everything to where I can talk about people movers and things like that. But hey, the Olympics are coming.
Oh, I know. Dallas was in the running.
I know.
That would have been so freaking cool.
Hey, I'm going to go see James.
Oh, there you go. We got buddies in LA.
Yeah, we got some people in LA.
We got buddies in LA.
But another thing here, guys, events, press releases, library, different things that are going on, different trades, labor, safety, tech. It's all in here. Go out and study some of the things that are going to help you in your trade, make you better, faster, smarter. All of these things, you can get out there and you can learn it. It's there.
I love it. All right. So let's roll over into business growth. You good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Because this is one of my favorite topics, and it's niche positioning. Why specialists beat generalists every freaking day. And guys, it's something, look, I started talking about this from the time I opened my company. People come up to us and say, well, what are you going to do different? Well, that's easy. I'm taking slab leak detection in-house. Talking about Leak Pro. I am going to specialize in slab leaks, leak detection, sewer water test. And then later we added whole house water filtration system. And it's just like, man, this stuff works. Mm-hmm. It works. So the real trends, generalist companies are losing market share to specialists. Here's the deal. If you're just a plumbing company and somebody's looking for somebody that does leak detection, a company that specializes in it, talks about it, has videos about it on their website, does SEO for it, mm-hmm. It works.
Yeah, because homeowners and builders don't want a jack of all trades. Yeah. They really want the best for this problem. Absolutely. That's who I need out here. I don't need somebody that's okay in this area. I need somebody, this is what they deal with on a day-to-day basis because they have lived it more often. They're going to know more of the problems that they could run into and exactly how to deal with them and address them so it doesn't cause delays.
And this is something that we talk about all the time. If you're a plumber, you should specialize in slab leaks and leak detection. It's easy to do. It's not expensive to get into it. Whole house water filtration, easy to do, not expensive to get into it. If you're an electrician, solar, wind turbines, whole house GFCIs. Guys, these are things that we should be doing. Yep. If you're an HVAC guy, indoor air quality, make that something you talk about every day. Then when you walk into a house and other companies are saying, hey, or the customer saying, hey, the other company's talking about the how many SEERs it is and how much money it can save me and all that. So, okay, what are they doing about the indoor air quality? I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, are they giving you good air or are they just giving you air cheap? Yep. And it's like, wait, what do you mean? If they didn't even talk about good air, they didn't even talk about indoor air quality. Well, let's do a test. I've got a tool. I'm going to turn it on. It just sucked the air in your house. I'm going to send it to a third party and get a report back from them to see. You may not have a problem, but 9 out of 10 homes we walk into. When you specialize in stuff like that, it's great. But the specialist things, I mean, leak detection is probably the best.
I was going to say, like, leak detection. If you are a plumbing company out there doing leak detection, you are scaling faster than any general plumbing company in your area. Yes. Okay? Because that's the calls I get all the time at Leak Pros. Man, not many people do leak detection in our area, or they're a long way out. Guess what? You can bring that in-house, and you can become that person in that area everybody's calling. Electricians specializing in smart home installs are earning bigger project bonuses.
Yeah, because that becomes part of think about it. These multi-million-dollar homes, you think they're not building them smart?
That's it. It's one of the key selling points.
Yeah.
Is
Let's not do a cookie cutter house.
that's right.
They probably don't have them. Okay. Are those the ones you want to be building, or do you want to be? Would you rather build a $300,000 home or a $3 million home?
Can you talk to your house or not?
Yeah, no doubt. No,
I
love
mean
that.
that's what it's becoming. Like that's the key selling point. I talk to a lot. I used to talk to Google a lot. Guys would laugh at me on the job site, but it's like, okay, there's 4 of us standing here trying to figure something out.
And Google
Why
just did
doesn't
it
one
in
of
30
us just
seconds.
go, hey, da 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 da? Oh, here it is, guys. Okay, let's get back to work. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you're that guy. And it's like, look, if it's stopping us because we really got to know, let's find out and move on. Can you talk to your home and just ask it so that you can keep doing what you're doing hands free? It's a great way to head. Would you rather be a Swiss Army knife nobody calls, or the scalpel that everyone needs?
I love that. All right, there it is. Just met Roger. Check it out. Lori, candied bacon. You like sweet bacon?
It's occasionally, like not too often. The main one I always buy is just hickory smoked bacon. Like I don't veer from that too often. But candied bacon occasionally I'll order at a restaurant or something for a treat.
Yeah, better be dessert. Abracat says the full quote is a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. I like being a master of 2 or 3.
That's
But look, I love it. Jack of all trades are great. They can look. I can come in and fix it all. But what are you really good at? Because I want this done better than normal.
that's it.
I
Like,
want something outside the box.
can I do my own sheetrock patches? Sure, I
Is
can.
it gonna look good?
Is it going to be perfect? No, it's not. Why? Because I'm a pipe fitter. I wanted to learn pipe and how to put that together and stuff like that more than
I'll tell you. I knew the way Randy thought when I saw him fixing a joint on his sheetrock over there. He's got the DAP and he's literally up there going back and forth down the seam. It's like, no, that's not how
we're
you do
welding it, baby.
I know.
If we can fill any gaps, come
Squirt,
on.
that is not how we do it. All right, let's jump into service work. Because dealing with customers who ghost after an estimate is something that we deal with. And something we really don't want to deal with, but let's talk about why. Sometimes there's a shock over the cost, even when the cost is reasonable. Remember, they don't know what they don't know.
And I'll tell you what, with prices nowadays, like it could be double what they originally thought because they weren't thinking that materials have escalated so much and all the different things. Things cost more. Sometimes we're not thinking about that like, oh my gosh, it's gone up that much over the last couple of years. Like I just had this done. Guess what? Everything has escalated and things cost more now. So
And it could be double what they were told last year.
that's it.
Labor's gone up. Materials have gone up. Everything's gone up. Tariffs are making it go up even more.
Yep.
And the shock over the cost, sometimes it's real. But what if it's you? What if it's a poor follow-up process? What if you aren't really trying to communicate with your customers the way they want to be communicated with? Because poor follow-up, one of my coaches says, look, don't just follow up, follow through. Let that one sink in. Because following through is really what it's all about. Or what if it's competitor hustle?
Yeah.
What if the other guy's hungrier than you are?
Man, yeah, like I was an estimator, okay, and guess what? There's times we had to play our subs against each other to get the best competitor that really wanted it, needed it, because that's the only way I was really going to get that job. So sometimes the competitor hustle can get real quick, but sometimes that may not be the customer you want necessarily to. So you got to play that into mind. But some of the ways to fix these problems, always set up a real follow-up expectation. Let them know, hey, I'm going to check back with you in a couple days if I don't hear from you. And make sure you call them in a couple of days, okay? Don't just, oh, well, didn't hear from them. we'll let it go.
And,
I'll find another one.
and here's the thing: a lot of times they do have questions, and if you don't follow up and follow through, they're like, "Well, maybe this really is high," and they're embarrassed to call me now. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that they're like, "Well, I'm sure they're not calling me back on this one."
Yeah, just give them a call. Hey, do you still have any other questions? I'd be happy to walk through any options with you, any problems that you're having, because there's something in their mind that's holding them back, whether it's the cost, whether it's timing, whether it's them having to shut the water off to get this done for a little while. Whatever the case is, discuss it with them and walk them through the different options that you can provide for them to help ease their mind, because that's a lot of customer support that you've got to do and go through that due diligence.
And a big thing here is, look, I always love giving them the estimate in person while I'm there. Let me look at this, because then you can use your emotional intelligence. Hey, did they just look at this and they're like, you know, do they got that look in their face like, oh my God, did you see that price? And then you can ask them, say, is this about what you were expecting? And no, this is quite a bit more. Okay, well, remember, we went top of the line here. If you don't want to go top of the line, we can come down from that. What would you like us to take? I love it when people come back and say, hey, can you give me a discount? Say, sure. What would you like to remove from it? Yep. You don't want to do all 3 toilets? Just do 2 of them right now. I can knock a third off right there. So, well, no, we want all 3 toilets. I can go a cheaper toilet.
Yep.
But that's not what we recommend.
Toilets all take the same amount of time to install. They take the same parts. Do you want cheaper parts? Okay.
Why not get the better one right now?
But that's it. Yep.
But the still have questions is a great way to do it, and happy to walk through with the options. Guys, if you're not giving people options, you're messing up already. There needs to be 3 prices there: a low, a middle, and a high. The low is, look, we can put a Band-Aid on it. We can make this work. The middle one is, we can repair this or replace this to the way that it would have been when it was brand new. The high end is, here's what we would do today based on technology we have, based on what we have. This is what we would do today. And this is going to save you more money in the long run. And then, man, have pricing set up, have financing set up. Because then you look at them and say, do you want to use your money or ours?
Yep.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, it's not going to cost you anything today if you use our money, because we have financing set up.
Yeah.
Offer a small time frame bonus too. Estimates accepted within 7 days, get priority scheduling. It makes sense. It really does.
That's an easy one. Like, doesn't cost you anything there.
Yeah, and you can always tell them at the time is, look, right now, I just called the office. We've got an opening next Monday, so we could start that early. And if you'll book this now, you know, and I normally don't like doing a discount, but normally what I'll do is, you know what, if you'll go ahead and do this now, we'll upgrade these toilets. We'll upgrade to the next level up. You know, whatever it is. There's always something you can do that doesn't cost you much.
We'll install a better seal.
Yeah, we'll upgrade from that foam
baby.
wax to the real wax. All right, let's move into materials, equipment, and tools, because new drain inspection cameras.
Man, like, and the question, you're like, okay, there's been a lot of new cameras coming out and things like that. The main question I always hear is, are the Wi-Fi models worth it?
I don't know. What do you think?
Yes.
I mean, no, I knew the answer.
It's what we train with. But like a lot of the tech updates here is Wi-Fi cameras now allow real-time sharing with clients via the app. Okay. New models have a 4K imaging, better lighting.
Awesome.
That's it. And they're waterproof cabling up to 200 feet.
Okay, what? Cabling better be waterproof.
Well, of course. I mean,
I like the way you put that in.
That's it. You know, I just want to make sure that there's no confusion here. But like my favorite part about the Wi-Fi part, we've discussed it many times. It's kind of what we train with here. You can have multiple devices that are watching that camera through the app.
And here's what I love about this. You know, I can be up on a roof with the camera and say, hey, Squirt, look, right here's where the break is. Will you go ahead and go down and show the customer? Well, while he's headed down, I may go ahead and pull the camera all the way out. I know what the foot marker is at. So I know right where it is. So I'll either pull it out. That way, when he's in front of the customer and he calls, says, hey, look, I got it pulled up on the phone now. I'm here with Miss Johnson. And I'm like, Miss Johnson, hey, this is Roger. Now she sees me on the camera. She knows I'm not BSing her. Miss Johnson, look, I'm running this down now. And I can run it right down to that foot marker, and I know right where it is. I can have it on my iPad while he's got it on an iPad down there in front of Miss Johnson.
Yep.
And it's like, you see this right here? Look over here to the right. You see that little line right there? See the root coming in? That line is actually a crack. Just saying, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to improve what you do for your customers is amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Out here we mainly use the Milwaukee, just like Abe over here talking about. He loves the Milwaukee backpack camera.
Mm-hmm.
So easy to take on a roof.
Yeah.
So easy for me to carry back and forth.
It makes it nice.
I love that thing because you just throw it on your shoulder and you go. I remember having to lug so many sewer machines up and down. Ugh. But there's a couple different ones out there nowadays, guys. There's so many.
There's a lot of different ones,
That's
more than
it.
a couple.
But why this truly matters for a good inspection system, it's going to give you faster approvals, which means faster closeouts, which means less time on a job. But customers trust what they can see, even when it's in a sewer line, guys. If you can show them physically, prove that we're in your house, please do that, just to give that extra service there. Look, this is really us. It's not just some recording we had. Giving some customers things like that, it's just going to let them have more trust in you to call you back every time. But they believe instantly. And it's like, oh my gosh, that is my house. Yeah, I do need to address that. Oh, this is all the things that causes. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this going. Or, oh, I'm going to have to get this financed. Let's use your money.
Mm-hmm.
Give them that option.
Always give them the option. All right. So first of all, we got a couple of things that we're talking about here today. One of our sponsors is Kickstart Your YouTube channel. If you're not doing social media and you're in the trades, you own a business, or you're in the trades. How you like that? You're in the trades, you own a business, or you're in the trades. You should be doing YouTube. And people ask me, how have you grown and done what you've done on YouTube? I do things right. I've hired a lot of coaches, a lot of consultants. I bought a lot of software, and we put together a training video to teach you how to do YouTube. If you are not doing YouTube, you should be. It is the second largest search engine in the world. You'll pay a fortune to try to be found on Google, when literally, if you'll get on YouTube, Google will pay you. So if you want to learn more about it, go to justmetroger.com. Check it out. It's a really cool free webinar explaining the things that you think are the reasons you can't do YouTube. I explain to you why you can.
That's it. We'd also like to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They build the most precise leak detection system for plumbers. And what I do, I build a couple different devices, guys. I've got the Probe. It's a T-handle style, solid wood. It's got a stainless rod on it, real durable for that meter to the home service. You can probe it in and out of the ground, rub against some rocks and things like that. It's not going to hurt it too bad. That stainless rod is durable. When you go inside, you're going to want to have that side kick. It's a pistol grip style with an aluminum rod on it. That aluminum rod, it's a less dense metal, so it enhances the sound even more. And that's what kind of eliminates that layer of concrete. So when you go into a house, you're listening through a slab, driveways or sidewalks outside, you'll want that side kick. So definitely check out the complete kit at www.leak-pro.com. But also, I do a 2-day in-person training. If you don't know anything about it, come out here, spend a couple days with me. I'll teach you how to locate lines. I've got 11 leaks under a slab to run you through. One just outside of the slab so that you know what that sounds like also. And I've got a couple sewer systems set up. One cast iron, one PVC. So that you can go through and determine exactly where a sewer system is leaking under a home, all from the double clean out outside for when you can't find any leaks on the cameras. This is how you go through and figure out exactly where the leaks are at. So give me a call about the training at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. But also, you can sit down with this guy over here, and he'll run through and check out your website, your business and things, and see if there's anything that he can do to help you with your SEO and marketing on how to add this leak detection service into your business and just help you elevate your business as quick as possible.
I teach you how to make your phone ring.
That's it.
That's plain and simple. That's what it's all about.
So give me a call, 1-8888 League Pro.
And talk to Squirt.
That's right.
All right. MEP. Why BIM, Building Information Modeling, matters for small contractors.
Yes.
Now, I got to tell you, I think I know one of the best BIM guys in the nation. and John Tremmel, if you're out there, man, you're doing great things. But what BIM does, it helps detect clashes between MEP systems before a single pipe is installed. If the people are doing it right.
Yes. It's like BIM coordination is a whole. Oh, goodness. BIM coordination is a whole nother part of the beast to be able to get all the different trades into the same model to look at BIM together.
It's not a bad deal.
That's it. It's going to save on rework, lost materials. Like that's one of the majors. When you rework, I did a lot of weld pipe. I had a guy, oh no, we're going to reuse all those 10-inch 45s. There's 4 of them. And I'm like, dude, do you know that I'm about to spend 4 hours, me, my apprentice, and my welder all standing around grinding on those parts and trying to cut it. Well, aren't you good with a torch? I'm great with a torch, bud, but still reusing is not good. And then it makes it harder, especially with 45s, because then I got to build an offset out of these reworked fittings.
Yeah.
So you will lose a lot of material.
And it may not be a
sometimes.
45. It may be a 44 or a 47.
At that
it's
point,
like,
yeah,
no,
when
it
you
can
redo,
be, and I know
it's-
it is.
It is not, it's not perfect anymore. But then also, it can lead to inspection failures. BIM is a great thing, and like for small businesses, I understand it. It seems like a big task to take on.
Oh, it is.
It's a lot of time and effort to go in, and it is because even a basic 2D, 3D prep planning can save 5 to 10% on job cost. That can be huge, especially for a small business.
Yeah.
So it's probably time to start looking into this if you're doing a lot of commercial things, especially if you're wanting to grow. If you are wanting to land any bigger projects in the future, you're going to have to expect BIM. All the subs are going to be BIM savvy because big projects run smooth. They want everything and everybody to have room to install their work to keep the schedule on track.
And guys, on the bigger projects, you want to save more money. You really do. You've got to look at it and say, hey, if we'll invest a little bit here, if we can save 5% on labor, we're liable to make an extra 10 or 15% over the whole project just by spending 5% up front.
Yep.
It's like, so like the guy says, you give me 10 hours to sharpen it. I mean, give me 10 hours to chop down a tree. I'm going to spend 9 hours sharpening that axe.
So
Just keep coming back. It works. And BIM isn't just for skyscrapers anymore. It's about working smarter, not harder. And we talk about that all the time.
love working that way.
You know, I shot a video today about plumbing apps that can be used in the field, apps that we use. I mean, we use the Milwaukee app every single week.
Yeah.
So, you know, look at what you can do to help you work smarter. All right, Randy, one of your favorites here. Where is the work?
Dude, federal infrastructure money is targeting secondary cities.
Like secondary cities.
Secondary
I
cities.
thought we were all primary cities.
That's what we always think because we're here in Dallas and every city around
Oh,
it.
wait. We're
is
not in Dallas.
Oh,
we're
we're
not in Dallas.
I'm in Dallas County.
No, you're not.
Well, I am. Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
am.
City of Wild Lake, County of Dallas. Like, I thought, wait a minute.
See, that is how confusing Dallas can be.
Walk 3 feet that way, you're not.
But like this is, guys, secondary cities, some of the hot zones here, Knoxville, Tennessee,
Yeah, it's not a bad place to be.
Spokane,
Smoky Mountain rain
Washington.
up there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Spokane, Washington,
I don't want to go to Spokane.
Waco, Texas,
Wacko.
Waco, Texas,
Hey,
Waco.
a guy
you
from
know,
Garland
hey.
went down there and made a big mess.
Yes. Des Moines, Iowa.
Say that again.
Des Moines?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. See that dadgum S. Well, hey, just take it off, y'all.
Hey, that's right.
Just
drop
take it off.
If it's
If
dropped,
y'all will take it
get
off,
rid
I'll
of
start
it.
saying it right.
Yeah. Greenville?
You know,
South
Greenville-
Carolina.
It's close to the ocean. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to find good reasons to go.
Well, so, okay, why this is really matters. Okay. These cities are getting federal grants aimed at schools, roads, water projects, and energy retrofits.
Energy retrofits are the biggest reason I think schools do this. I really
Yes.
do every year.
Yeah. It's huge. Most of the HVAC, it was all upgrades to more efficient. Everything I feel like in school upgrades is
I've been
more
in
efficient.
schools that had HVAC systems that are 50 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen some, yeah.
Yes.
I've tore out some boilers that we took out.
Abe says, I picked up the Sidekick from Leak Pro yesterday. We're putting it in the field today with one of our plumbers. Update y'all on tomorrow's live. Cool deal.
But the major thing here for these secondary cities, lower competition compared to the major metro areas. And this is going to lead to better profit margins. Guys, major tip here, go where the GC aren't crowded yet. Secondary cities are gold right now.
You know what? I mean, I ain't gonna argue with you.
That's it. You drive to Waco for a job.
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably. They got some good food down there. Got some good
That, like-
hotels down there. See,
and that's it, like-
hey, it's how you position things.
I was going to say, like, with all these secondary city things, I kind of enjoyed traveling. I went to Midland, Odessa, up doing schools during the summer break.
Were you at the okay? So you were not at the PAC, the Performing Arts Center.
Nope.
See, I went out to Midland, Odessa, and it was great because where I stayed is where the Frisco Rough Riders came into play.
Okay,
the
yeah.
minor league
I wasn't
baseball.
far from there.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I got to go to the hotel that I was in was a sponsor. So like, you want tickets to the game?
There you go.
It's like, sure, they put you in a box seat right down front. It's like, man, this is pretty cool. It's like, well, all the players stay at our hotels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty neat stuff.
Shoot, yeah.
The-
It is,
was it
but
the
like
Midland Rockhounds
Bulldogs
or
something?
Mud Dogs or
Mud Dog. It's
I
something
don't
like that.
know.
Like I feel like it's a dog. It looks, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a while. Rockhounds.
maybe so.
Rockhounds.
It's fun. I
It's
thoroughly
been a
enjoyed
while.
it.
But yes, going to some of these different places. Like I'm from Dallas, so I'm used to this big city. Going to some of these secondary cities are so cool. Going into the local establishments and spending some time. I truly enjoyed traveling a lot. Now it takes you away from the family, home, all that stuff. That part kind of sucks. But I'd make sure to get enough time at home while I was traveling to keep it decent, and then like keep a limit on it too.
So I'm gonna piss off a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
No, I am. Is Fort Worth a secondary city? You ain't gonna touch that one.
To
are you?
me, it is.
All right, let's jump into instructor training. How to create apprentices who think like foremen.
Yep.
And guys, this is something that I loved because you got to teach them key traits. You've got to teach them proactive planning. Okay. And me and Randy talked about this the other day. I wanted Randy thinking, what's around the corner? And that's what proactive planning is. Thinking ahead. What's next? What's coming up? And you can always tell when you got a good apprentice that's going to be a good foreman. They're already reading your mind. They know, the kid sitting there with the fittings holding up over his head. He's like, yeah, he's fixing to reach down and ask for these. And it's like, hey, I need. It's like, hey, don't need them no more.
Yep.
Got them right here. But proactive planning, thinking about what's ahead, what's coming next, looking ahead of your people. That's where when I had apprentices and I was trying to train them to be good foremen, it's like, okay, you've got everything from today. You've got everything from tomorrow. What's the next day look like? Where should they be? And are you starting to get that stuff together? Do you have everything here? You've got to teach them situational awareness, understanding the job site. If you walk in with a set of prints and you look up, it's like, wait, all this duct isn't supposed to be here. You either come in late that night and remove it. Probably not a good thing to do, but I've seen it done.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Guys
Drill
walk in the
holes
next.
right through it.
The guys walk in the next morning. The ducks laying in the floor, and plumbing is right where they were at. It's like, how'd that happen?
That was always my favorite one to see on a punch list. Need to remove this all thread hanger out of the ductwork
Yeah.
that they sealed in, pookied in, everything past their test and everything. It's just like, guys, really.
I can do it, but I'm going to cut a hole 6 foot in diameter in the duct so I can get up in there and work. Wait a minute. Maybe we'll have them do it. Okay.
Yeah.
An ownership mindset. And this is a big one because having that mindset, and I remember one of the first job site superintendents, Robert Brock, walked me through a job. God, what were we on? Is it over in Plano? I don't remember what it was now, but he's walking me through the job. And this is like my first union job. And he's walking me around, introducing me to people.
Yep.
And there's a pile where somebody had swept up the floor. So we know it wasn't the electricians. And he goes over and he picks up like 6 3/8 inch nuts and he stuck them in his pocket. I said, well, what are you doing? He said, well, I don't want to throw them away. I'm like, they're 3/8 nuts. We buy them by the thousands. And he says, yeah, but they're like a nickel a piece. And that's the way he looked at it. It's my job. And I said, dude, you treat this like you own it. He says, oh, I do. He says, this is the one that's for me. I treat every job just like it's my business, my job. Each and every one of these people on here work for me.
Yep.
And man, I took that mindset on really, really quick.
That's it.
And tried teaching it to apprentices.
Own your work. Mm-hmm. That's how I taught my apprentice. Own what you do. Okay. If you own the company and you told somebody to do this task, how would you want them to do it? Show me. Show me how you want them to do it. That's all I want to see.
Yep.
That's it. Also, some good exercises. End of the day recaps.
Great things to do.
So good. What slowed us down today? Was it standing around BSing? Is that what it was? Was it somebody in our way? Was it piss poor planning? What was it that slowed us down and we didn't get as much production as we should have?
And this next one, I used to do the weekly mini project leadership. Okay. Because what I would do is when I got ready for my labor projection meeting,
Yep.
a few days before, I'd get all my key people together and say, hey, do we see any problems coming up?
Yeah.
And it's like, Roger, we keep telling you, we got this deal down here. We're going to run into it. Okay, you know what? I keep bringing it up, but let me address this before our deal. Then I can go to the general contractor. Then I can come into the labor projection meeting saying, look, we got a problem here. I've gone to the general and they're like, yeah, we're not moving. Then all of a sudden you got the whole office going through notes saying, oh, no, here it is on page 47.
Yep.
They're going to remove it.
Yep.
Carry this in with you tomorrow. And you go back in and say, hey, guys, look, I'm sorry, but man, I went into my labor projection meeting and this is in y'all's contract to move, not ours.
That's it. They handed us this page of the contract and told me to go ahead and show you this highlighted section
Yeah,
here.
just for your FYI.
So that you know what was agreed before we ever started this conversation.
But they did also put a very healthy number to it for us to remove it if you would like us to proceed, as you said. No, never mind. You know what? Let us look at it.
That's it.
And another one is plan the materials and layout for this week's small job. Now, I love that because you should have done that last week. Okay? Staying a week ahead or 2 weeks ahead of your employees is how you become a great superintendent. You don't let things slip up on you. You don't let things get by you. You don't let things fall through the crack. You look at it and say, look, we need to test, check, plan for everything.
Yep.
And it's hard in the beginning because you're trying to get 2 weeks ahead of your people. And I used to tell them, let me on the job site a week early.
One of my favorites is one of the first things apprentices forget is the most basic thing, and it's something that they use more than any of us, the nuts and washers.
Yeah.
They'll create you this great material list. They won't think about all the hanger components or something. Like there's something that they're going to forget. The anchors, like so many different things. But when you have them actually go through and plan that, you can look through it and be, hey, how you supporting that pipe? Oh, the hangers. I got the hangers in there. Yeah, but there's no rod. There's no nuts and washers. So how are you actually going to build a hanger? Like, you going to order nuts and washers next week when we're trying to do that job or what? And then they're like, oh my gosh, this is all the things you think about. You've got to think about every little detail while you're doing this. Yes. They learn that.
I used to have a friend that was a project manager, and when they'd give him a new PM,
Yeah.
He had a drawing.
I was gonna say he had a set thing. Yep.
It was a doghouse,
Ooh.
and he'd had him a set of prints for a doghouse. Say, do me a favor, give me a material takeoff. And they're looking at it like, this is a doghouse. I know.
Yep.
Always said that almost half of them would forget the screws.
Yep. Yep.
How you gonna put it together?
That's it.
It's like, wait, what? You've got all the wood, you got all the braces, you got all this, you got all this. How you gonna put it together?
That's it.
It's like, okay, I forgot the screws. Yeah, but you roll your eyes. That's a big deal. You know, the wood ain't gonna hold itself together.
You sent 5 guys out there to build that doghouse, and they're all standing around going, "Man, I'd love to put this
How are we
together."
gonna be able to put this together? Sure, it's gonna look good once it's done.
But that PM didn't get me no screws.
Any of y'all got any bubble gum? I'm just saying, guys, look, it's something you got to think about.
That's it.
Because it's every little thing. We don't just need hands, we need heads that know how to lead. And that is what's going to make it all work.
Mm-hmm.
Because without a leader, everybody's out there trying to figure out which way to go.
Yep.
All right, let's jump into specialty real quick. Tankless water heater retrofits. And I love tankless water heaters. We did a deal with Renai, loved it. Got to see some amazing installations.
Man,
It is good, but this is a new service gold mine.
that's it.
Randy, why is it exploding?
Guys, 2025 sees 24% year-over-year growth in tankless retrofits. And that's according to the NAHB.
We like the NAHB.
We do.
We hang out at their events.
We enjoy their events. Homeowners want energy savings, smaller footprints, and faster hot water.
You know, and I'm going to tell you, the hot water ain't no faster. I don't mean it. I just look.
I'll agree to that at the beginning and when you first get in.
Right.
100%.
But yeah, it's not, it can be no faster. Water moves through that 3/4 inch pipe as fast as water moves through that 3/4 inch pipe.
That's right. Depends on which shower head you have.
No, yeah. So, you know, unless you've got a circulation system or a pump that has one built in, that's fine. You can do that too. But, you know, at the end of the day, whether you got a tank there making the water hot or you've got a tankless making the water hot, when you call for it here, it's the same distance. Mm-hmm. And they say the tankless is faster. To be honest, it's probably just a hair slower because it's got to kick, as soon as that hot water is called for, it's got to kick on the exhaust fan, clear the port, and then start heating the water. The hot water tank already has it in it, or the water heater already has hot water in the tank.
Yep.
So, just saying. But offer an energy audit with every tank replacement. That quote should include warranty extension offers for maintenance plan upsells. Guys, tankless water heaters you need to maintain even more so than tank water heaters. Yep. We're supposed to flush tank top water heaters every year, but to be honest, the heat exchanger on a tankless is about this thick. So if you imagine a 1/4 inch scale build up on each side, you can slow that down.
That's it. You're not cleaning a tank, you're cleaning a pipe out. Like, is the quickest thought I can give you there in the comparison there. But guys, if you're not offering tankless upgrades on every replacement call, you are leaving money behind. And the models are changing.
Options,
like,
guys.
That's it. And like now there's so many different options and stuff that it doesn't necessarily take a big overhauling anymore to do these. The vents have gotten a little smaller, things like that. Because I remember whenever these first came out, you had to have all this big vent. You had to have all this stuff.
Custom-made stainless steel vent.
All these things. It's getting better out there. So definitely look into tankless offerings for your customers.
I like this. Okay, so Linda Evans says, hey, I got a question for Squirt. How early in my plumbing career can I learn leak detection?
Honestly, as early as you want. I've had sales people come out here and learn leak detection that they went back and they were teaching the plumbers how to do it. You can learn it as early as you want. You don't have to know plumbing even necessarily to be able to do leak detection. If you just want to do leak detection, but if you're wanting to do it and plumbing, which is the best for everybody, and that's why we started Leak Pro mainly, was to get the right tools into plumbers' hands, because we want you to take care of your own in-house work.
And Linda, here's the first thing I want to ask you, and I'm watching the screen, so if you'll do it pretty quick. Where are you located? Because here in Texas, our apprentices have to be registered, and they're there's certain things in the house they're not allowed to even touch. Now, leak detection does not penetrate the plumbing system at all. It's literally you're opening a valve or closing a valve. That's it. You can literally learn. I trained my apprentices to do leak detection because then I could send them out to do it. They didn't have to have a license to find a leak because they're not penetrating the plumbing system. They're not doing anything wrong. So for me, that was always a big deal, and I love that. So if you'll put in there where you are, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about that. And then I'm going to make that go away. Go ahead. All right. So we are going to. Oh, is that the old one? Oh, so now you got to pick the new one.
Now I got to get the new one. Yes, that's
You got it?
what I'm working at. Yep.
Okay. All right. So today we are talking about social media. We're talking welding. Now, this is A. Ross Welding. Mr. Ross, how are we doing?
That's it. Guys, this guy pops up on my feed a lot, and it's funny because all this time we've done welding, I haven't been able to find him because a lot of the names, I have a lot of people that go through my feed. But man, he's an old pipeline welder. He actually does some trainings and things that you can get out and learn. Building pipe fences. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to build fences?
Good, because I want you to build one out front.
All right. All right. Y'all heard it. Clip it.
Yeah.
Boom. There's my welding machine.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Miller, talk to me, baby.
But like, he talks about all sorts of different welding here. Teaches some real world mobile welding setups because he's a pipeliner, guys. So he goes through, tears down the truck, different ways, different rigs and stuff he likes to build and have on his truck when he's out there just to make things smooth operations. Reels, different things he builds. I've learned more of that, I think, from pipeline welders than most welders because they learn how to do it out in the middle of the dirt, in the middle of nowhere, out of pretty much nothing. It's pretty wild seeing some of the things that these guys can do.
And the neat thing is too, and you got to think about this, and I thought about it because I saw a post the other day where somebody was building a rail fence, pipe rail fence like that, caught their yard on fire.
Yep.
I mean,
It's a big thought.
man, you've got to be careful and be safe. And that's why I love watching guys like this work because you can see what they're doing. He does everything, covers from trailers to farm repairs, equipment welds. And I remember the first time I worked with a farmer and I'm out watching him weld on his old Ford tractor.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm fixing it. We got stuff to do.
It's broke.
And it's like, okay, but you're welding it. And he's like, well, I know it's broke. Blew my mind. But he offers business and bidding tips for welders looking into freelance. Now, welding is one thing that I always, when people ask me about getting into a trade, I always tell them, look, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, you're going to be able to start your own company one day. Welders can be their own company. I mean, they really can. If you'll invest in the rig, man, I've seen some welding rigs, welding trucks roll down the road. It's like, dang, he's making money.
Man, my favorite is, and I hate to say it, ironworkers is where I originally saw it as a kid growing up. Welders is one of the coolest looking jobs ever because they are raining fire all day long, is how I used to see it growing up. And it's just like, dude, what are they doing? And you dig through here and you learn different things about it. Cutting torches is one of my favorite things to do. That's one of the main reasons I think I became a pipe fitter. Like, one of the first things I learned in plumbing is, hey, I want to learn how to solder. Teach me how to solder. Show me how to do that. I want to use that torch thing. That's what I want to mess with. Like, how does that work? So it created that curiosity, and that's why I lead into fitting, and that's why A. Ross Welding comes across my feeds because, I do find some of these different things interesting. Like whenever I see people offering cutting tips with a torch, I'm usually curious as to the different tips they offer, and if it's anything I know or not, because there's a lot of them out there, and one small tip can tweak every way that you cut in your future if it's the right one.
Yeah, it can change how good your work looks. I mean, it really can. So if you've ever thought about building a side hustle, welding trailers, heavy equipment, or anything like that, check it out.
it.
Because A. Ross Welding shows exactly how to start. And you got to get started somewhere. Now, my thing is, if you want to get started on YouTube, it's time.
How do I do that?
It is time. I'm just telling you guys, it is time. If you've ever thought about growing a YouTube channel, you ever thought about making money on YouTube, you can make good money on YouTube. I'm just saying.
There's people that do that for a full-time job.
There's people that have 7 or 8 people in an office two doors away from them helping him do it.
That's pretty awesome.
It ain't bad. But guys, to be honest, I mean, you can grow a YouTube channel into whatever you want to grow it into. And I always talk about YouTube because that's where it started for me. And my favorite thing about YouTube, to be honest, is the fact that I took YouTube and was able to cut it up and put it in other places. We're almost as big on TikTok as we are on YouTube. And that blows my mind. But it does. I'll get more views over here on TikTok today than I will over here on YouTube, which is fine. Yep. YouTube, it'll be up longer. I'll end up getting more views here, but it is what it is. But I can take what I do on YouTube, my long form videos, and I can cut it up. I can snip it. I can share it other places. I can do so many things. So I just want y'all to think about that. I put together a free webinar to blow apart the 3 myths that people tell me all the time about why they can't do YouTube. And it's free. Go check it out. You want to learn more about it, go to www.justmetroger.com, sign up for the webinar, watch it, and then come back in here and tell me what you think about it. I'd love to hear from y'all and just know, what do you think? Because I teach people how to do YouTube the way I did it. I've learned from a lot of different people. I can't even tell anybody around here how much money I've spent on training and education because they'd laugh at me. But I promise you, I've made it all back. So it's not a bad deal. Anyway, you want to learn more about it, go to www.justmetroger.com.
That's it, guys. Get out there and get started on socials. We pull up people on socials all the time. Let me tell you, they are making money.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the things that they do. And majority of them love what they do now because the feeling of getting to put greatness out in front of everybody and for more people to see it and follow it and learn from, it's a great feeling. So get out there and teach some people. Okay. And also learn how to do it.
I'm going to do this one more time here. Just because I like this right here. So bad it was cut out. A busted x-ray bigger than Dallas. Okay, you got to love that. I mean, guys, did you see the way it got my attention?
Hey, Plumber's going to watch it.
That's what it's about. It is about getting people's attention.
Yeah.
Squirt, tell everybody about Leak Pro, will you?
So we do want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. It's easy to use equipment, guys. It's the equipment itself, one wire up to the headphones for both devices. You've got the probe for your outdoor use, that meter to the home service. Then you've got the Sidekick when you go indoors. If you want to check out our equipment, you can visit www.leak-pro.com. Check out the complete kit. Comes with both pieces of equipment, a universal adapter, and a remote controlled outlet to hook up to your air compressor so that you can be a one-person leak detection. And that's a long ways to not have anybody dealing with the water and the air and trying to get the balances right like all these other manufacturers out there. So definitely take a look at the complete kit. If you don't know anything about leak detection, give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and I'd be happy to discuss with you how that you can come out here, hang out for a couple days, and leave knowing exactly how to locate leaks. We go through line locating. I've got 11 leaks under a slab, 1 outside of the slab. We even go through some sewer isolation training so that you can determine exactly where a sewer line's leaking. Give me a call. Once again, it's 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. Man, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. And look, if y'all want to learn how to make your phone ring when you're here for the training, if you're the owner or general manager, I'll bring you in, sit you down at my computer, and we'll go through, we'll look at your website, what I do, what you could be doing, maybe even what you could be doing here on YouTube.
That's it.
I'm just saying. Anyway, guys, look, great having you here today. We will be back tomorrow. Remember, whatever you do out there today, do it safe.
Guys, happy Tuesday. Hope to see you back here for Hump Day tomorrow.
Whiskey Wednesday.
That's it. Get out there, hit it effing hard. Hope to see you back here tomorrow. Bye, guys.
See y'all.